podcast show for business owners and managers who are passionate about developing people and growing a successful business. And now here's your host, Alistair Booth from the HR Booth.
Welcome to our latest edition of our podcast. Delighted to be joined by a guest this morning, and as you will see, we have got Adrian from the wonderful team at hireful on the podcast. So welcome, Adrian.
Hi Alistair, great to be on board.
Great, thanks for coming on board. So really appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule. I know that it's a busy time for you guys at hireful all the time, but I've been on obviously a few of your podcasts in the past and some of your webinars, so great to finally get you on with ourselves as well. And today really informal, just an opportunity for you to speak about yourself, speak about hireful. I've got a few questions that I'm going to ask, but yeah, it'd be really good just to kind of share that with our audience and some of our clients as well, Adrian. So delighted that you've taken the time. So thanks again.
Excellent. Cool.
So before we get started, actually, be good just to kind of hear a bit about your background, Adrian, what you do, and tell us a little bit about hireful.
Yeah, so interesting week this week. It's our 25th anniversary of the business. So we started it. I started the business 1 year outside of university as a simple recruitment agency business. Uh-huh. And then I tend to get a little bit itchy feet. I got a little bit bored. So then that was 99. And then 6 years later, we started selling online advertising. And then about 10 years ago, we started helping our customers with recruitment software. So I've probably done every job in the business. We've got a great CEO now, Sean. So I can sort of step away from a lot of things. And I'm really focused on a lot of marketing stuff, content, webinars and stuff like that. And then also the future direction of the business. Yeah. So thinking about, and the product, thinking about things like AI and all those other things.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, and I'll echo that. Sean is a great guy. I dealt with Sean quite a bit over the years. So yeah, you have got a good CEO in place there, which is great. Good. Brilliant. So 25 years. So massive congratulations. That is a fantastic milestone. I bet there's probably a few stories that we could chat about. Maybe not for today, but that'll be another time in your business life around that. But that's a massive achievement. So well done.
Yeah, we put out a little social media video with a few photos on it, and then we had a little tiny party last night, and then that video was the extended video where you had all the pictures of the various Christmas parties and stuff. So I like to think we've got more professional and commercial over the years, but some of the early stuff was a little bit wild. It's quite good fun.
Aye, what does it say? Play hard and work hard.
Exactly.
Good, brilliant, good. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about what hireful do then? You touched on a little bit there around like online advertising and what some of the services, but just to go in a bit of detail around what is it specifically that you do and what service do you provide to businesses?
Yeah, in simple terms, we help people hire. That is our sort of tagline. But really, that we tend to look at things and go, customers will need help in a certain area, and we end up building a new service in many cases, or partnering with someone who can provide that service. So we want to be their recruitment partner. But no matter what they come to us with, we've got a solution. So within our own suite of products, well, obviously we have the original recruitment agency service is still there. We sell low-cost recruitment advertising so they can publish vacancies. And then the big thing for us, because this is what we've built our organization around, is the software, because that's really helped us build this long-term customer base and partner base, like with yourselves and others. So and then off that there's various other add-ons, and we build career sites, and I'm now looking at the moment building chat bots, and so we always make that decision, is this something we're going to do, or is this something that we need to find a partner for? So we wouldn't do psychometric profiling or something like that.
Right. Okay.
But we absolutely want to have a partner for it. So we always want to have a good answer for our customers when they ask us, can you help me with this?
Yeah, okay. Brilliant. Good. And that's been our kind of findings working with you guys. We've worked with you guys for a number of years, as you know, Adrian. The partnership has been great. We obviously generally provide outsourced HR services, but what we were finding is a lot of our clients were having recruitment challenges, frustration perhaps with the agencies, don't have the time, not sure where to advertise and all of that. And then you met you guys a number of years ago, and we've been able to offer a lot of the kind of solutions, so that partnership's been great. We probably don't tap in to your team enough probably for some of the add-on services, so that's something I'm conscious of with our own team. But yeah, I think, you know, Leanne and the team and Sean, etc., all been great. Everybody we've dealt with at hireful has been fantastic, and have offered solutions to our clients. And you know, we're not a recruitment agency, but what we've been able to do is provide a recruitment solution for our clients through your support, which has been great, and it adds value to our clients as well, which, you know, we really appreciate that. So the partnership is wonderful. And as I said, I think what's been really good actually was during COVID. You know, Leanna started the coffee mornings for a lot of the partners. Got lots of value out of that. I think certainly during the kind of lockdown period, I think there was only one out of, I think, almost 2 years that I'd kind of missed. So I was on that most weeks. And I probably need to be a bit more consistent with that again moving forward now they've started. But yeah, anytime we've asked, you know, the team around advice on adverts, doing recruitment audits, Glassdoor reports, etc., you guys have been able to kind of provide that solution, and we just add value to our clients being able to do that. So that partnership has been great for us and our clients.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really cheesy, but we just want to help. We know that it's really nice, the business world we live in now, with social networking and referrals. It allows organizations that actually go out and deliver a good service and maybe go a bit above and beyond, and I'm sure that includes your business as well, that it actually makes commercial sense to give up your time and help people, because you know that they will pay it forward at some point. So that's always been our nature, and it's it works out great. And obviously I have to give a shout out to Leanne, who's just a bundle of energy. She's just the right person to bring all our partners together. And, definitely. You know, it's tough being a small business. You want to hear from your peers and other organizations. You can share ideas and insights.
Yeah, no, I definitely got a great relationship with Leanne over the years, and really helped our business. And you know, we now, you know, we utilise the applicant tracking system. We've got a dedicated recruitment administrator, and different members of the team will touch the system. We've got some clients that have got their own kind of branded ATS as well, and that works really well. But it's just enabled us to automate a lot of the processes, saving us time and money, but also saving our kind of clients time and money. And it also kind of creates a better candidate experience for the candidates, and enhances that brand of not just the HR booth, but also our clients. So great service that we've had with you guys over the years.
Well, there's lots more automation coming next year, because the AI is going to be very much involved, and you'll be able to turn it on or turn it off where you want it a little bit. So it could be interesting.
Fantastic, good stuff. So we've touched on there 25 years in business, so massive congratulations on that. When you set the business up, did you envisage the size of the team it is now, or have you just kind of went along with the ride and see how it goes?
Yeah, I mean, I set the business up, and you know, I wanted to run my own business, and it was just cool and exciting, and I knew I could run it, and that I was a good recruitment consultant, and a recruitment consultant's quite an easy business to run. And so it wasn't anything special. There was thousands of recruitment agencies out there. But to be honest, I just did it, and I thought, this is cool, this is fun, and I got lots of respect from my peers. So it was more a badge of honor, and I didn't take it as seriously as I should, you know. So but you know, it takes you a while to learn and go on that journey, and we've definitely learned a lot over the years. I look back and I saw the original logo for the business, which we designed in Microsoft Paint last night. Wow. So you realize how far you've come when you see things like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And what's the size of the team these days then, Adrian?
So we've got teams in Madrid. We've got a development team in India as well. So we've got a development team in India and Madrid. So it's in the 70s. So and like I say, we're very efficient. So we deliver a lot with that. We don't have ambitions to be 400 staff or anything, but we do have ambitions to be many more clients and much bigger. And
brilliant. And have you got like a typical kind of client that you would say your sweet spot is as such?
Yeah, and I think that's important when I talk to other people running businesses, and that is to really know what your ideal client is. So our customer base is probably between about sort of maybe 50 staff up to about 5,000. That's an awful wide range. You know, the sweet spot, as you say, would be in that probably 100 to 500 staff range. They've got enough. They've got a team in place probably, but that team is probably overworked, needs help, needs support. So we can add max value there.
Fantastic, good stuff. And how would you say the business has evolved over the years then? Obviously 25 years is a long time, so recruitment is very different now from where it was 25 years ago. What's been the key to that success, and how's it evolved over that time?
Yeah, I mean, we take 2005. We started helping organisations to go online. That was what we were doing. It was very simple. We had a sales team hitting the phone, and they were contacting people that were advertising in the local press. And we knew that those advertisers were getting less and less response because more and more job seekers were going online, not waiting for the paper on a Thursday or something. But they needed help to do that. They hadn't done that before. We were guiding and we're putting our arm around them doing that. So, that's what we were doing in 2005. And then that was a big shift. There's always been new things that have been going on that we've been able to support our customers with, little trends, and whether that's diversity, inclusion, and things like this. And then, like I say, I keep referring to AI because that's my big thing at the moment. And I think that's what we'll be doing next year. I think we'll be helping customers once again, not forcing it on them, not having one size fits all, but just talking to customers and guiding them through that process so they start building AI into their recruitment process where they think it will add value and be ethical and transparent.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's funny you mentioned AI. So I was probably one of these people in the 90s. So I showing my age a little bit, but I worked in HR during the 1990s. Worked for a FTSE 100 company in kind of late 90s, and we would pay over £10,000 to get a front page advert in the Glasgow Herald or in the Scotsman, which was the Edinburgh kind of based paper. So that was the kind of two big broadsheets in Scotland, and it would be a 5-figure sum to get a front page advert, whether you're looking for customer service reps or sales reps or anything like that. So that was, that's what we were spending. And I think it was probably late 1999, maybe early 2000, where the concept of kind of online job boards kind of come about. And there was a couple of job boards at that point had started. They were kind of coming out to present to us. And I remember some people kind of thinking, yeah, this will never take off. And then, now I don't know if anybody advertises in the paper. It is all online. And now you've got AI come, it's here and is only going to accelerate. So it's interesting to see that evolution over that period of time. And I guess now that'll be even quicker from what we've had in the last 25 years.
Yes, speed is going to be a big factor then. And we've always said, like, we can build a career site for customers. We can help them craft good adverts and things like this. So we can help them to add 10 or 20% to their employer brand. But we can't fundamentally change and make them a massively more attractive employer. What we can really do with our software is help them to secure that talent faster. So, because how many people, if you get 70-80% of candidates accept your offer, then it's, in many cases, that's a great rate. It's about getting your offer to the candidates before they drop out, before they get an offer from someone else. Because most candidates are not there going, I have to see every employer in the marketplace and I want to have 12 interviews. They're thinking, I don't love the recruitment process. I'm not totally happy where I am. I'm looking for a better solution. And when they find it, they'll sign on the dotted line.
Yeah, definitely. And that's our experience as well, Adrian. So yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, good. And obviously there's been a lot of changes over that period of time. So what has been the key in your view in terms of your company's kind of success, so that longevity and 25 years, what's been the kind of key to that success?
I think we've always been learning. I think we had to, because the recruitment market isn't static. It does keep changing. We've made some big pivots in the business, like launching new divisions and launching software. I think that's really helped me because I would have grown very bored if the business hadn't evolved and changed. And then the last one's the cheesy one, but it's the bit that when I look back, it's easier to see that our hiring process, which is somewhat ironic, wasn't always spot on. We didn't have a clear view of what good looked like, and we probably didn't manage people and lead them brilliantly. Now we hire great people and we've got a great culture. Brilliant. And that just feels I mean, you still got to look after it, but once you've got the core people there, you're bringing people into a good team and they can see the standards and the expectations, and it just sort of rolls.
Yeah, good.
So that's the HR piece, isn't it? That's
exactly. Yeah, I know, and it's funny. Yeah, so often, we've not always kind of got that right either, and it's refreshing to hear you kind of say the same. But once you do crack that, it just makes the business far better and a more enjoyable place to work. And I think having good leaders in the business, obviously, that's what you've identified as that leadership and the right traits and the right people doing that.
Yeah, and if you accidentally, unfortunately, bring in someone who's not a good fit, they do stand out very quickly. That's
absolutely. I think I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were talking about that actually, and said I think hiring the wrong person is the second worst thing you can do. The worst thing is actually keeping them. And I thought I heard that. I thought, I totally agree with that. So yeah, good.
Yeah, and actually probably the worst thing for them as well, because we've let people go and said, look, this isn't for you. And if you've ever worked in a role, and I think I have done at least once in my life, where it's not right for you and you're not delivering, but you're committed and you're trying, and but then and it's just not working out, then you're probably doing that person a favor letting them go. Absolutely. So they can find something that's better for them. They probably won't feel like it at the time. They might be very upset with you, but it will be for the best.
Yeah, no, agreed, and I've seen that so often over the years, Adrian. So yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, good. So you've touched on a little bit about AI there, Adrian, as well. So what have you seen has been the biggest change in recruitment practices over the years? And I take it there's obviously more change to come. What do you think that kind of looks like?
Yeah, we're watching like what the big companies are doing. We just had an update from HubSpot launching their AI, so we're watching what they're doing, and I think. Yeah, they're much smarter than us, so if they're doing it in a certain way, I'm definitely paying attention to that. What we saw initially with AI was lots of people building AI into their software so you could help you to generate a job advert better and things like that, which is it's a nice task. It's a good thing. Yeah. I think the next step really though is shortlisting, is AI shortlisting, which is scary for lots of people to think about. But what we're talking about is the AI screening the CV and work all the application form and working out whether the person's good enough. Like maybe they're a yes candidate, or a maybe candidate, or a no candidate, or an unlikely candidate. So and just trying to work out, and then these are the ones, getting them to the recruiter to say these are the ones you need to look at first. And maybe the unlikely candidates, it's like these ones you don't need to look at. You can just reject. We can reject them, and now that sounds. Bad rejecting a candidate without looking at it, but the AI can reject them and tell the reason why. So it can say, look, these were the requirements. We had 3 questions I was looking at for the role. This is what the AI would look at. And it can just say, we looked at your CV, but we couldn't identify that you had item A, you weren't qualified in item B, and you didn't show experience of item C, so we couldn't bring you forward. The candidate can come, if they've got that wrong for any reason, the candidate can come back to them. So we see the AI doing a lot of that. And for the yes candidates, you could apply to a job, and this is where I see like a 2-speed recruitment process. And I think a lot of organizations will have to think about it if they're in a competitive situation, because let's say I think in 18 months, many organizations might be like this, where you'll apply to a role at 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and you'll get an email back saying, hi, Alistair, thanks for applying for this role. Our AI has looked at you. We can see you're a good fit because of your experience at this company, referencing your CV. Therefore, we'd love to get you booked in to speak to one of our human recruiters. Click this button now and schedule yourself a call. And that time to that first conversation is going to be dramatically reduced. Or the next step could be an assessment, which obviously you'd rather get a human in there personally. But that first step, the AI can just rapidly change that now. Later steps in the process, like assessment and stuff, AI can come into as well. But that seems like the big win, especially as everyone's saying the world we live in now with Indeed, easy apply, and all these great features for candidates. They can easily apply to your roles in a couple of clicks, but customers are getting overloaded. And also I think with hybrid working as well, we were looking for a head of marketing. It's 2 days a week, and people just treat that as I'm in Aberdeen, I'll apply for the role. And it's like, well, it's 2 days a week in our office, and then they go, but could it be remote? So you get a lot of high kickers and stuff, and unfortunately the AI can just get you right to where you want to get to.
Great. So I suppose then from a candidate point of view, it's going to be so important to make sure that the CV is tailored for the role they're applying for, because otherwise AI is going to pick up on the key elements of the job role matching the CV, and if they've not captured that in their CV, there's a danger then they're not going to make the shortlist process based on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of information about, like, there's a lot of candidates that think that AI is already being used on screening now, but it's hardly ever used on screening. And actually, if you're using it, you have to opt in to automate. There's a GDPR provision they have to opt in. So hardly anyone's using that. But candidates think they are. So a lot of people are overthinking their CV, I think, in that regard. If you get the AI wrong when you deploy it, then you've got a problem. I'll give you an example of that in a second. But for the most part, if you write a normal CV, you'll be fine. So if your job title was like people manager, and maybe the AI has been told, look for people that have got experience of working as a HR manager, the AI will understand that. It will understand the two things are the same, which maybe a human might not if you've got someone who's inexperienced. But the problem you've got with the wrong questions, and that's why we're building ours to sort of give the first half of the question to the recruiter to set, and they just fill the second half. Do you have experience in? And they just put the bit. But if someone says, like, I'm looking for someone who can work independently, and that typically isn't a good CV question, but someone might put on their CV, I can work independently or as part of a team, a fairly drab comment we've all read a million times on a CV. The AI will tick a box and say, this person's an independent worker, because they told me they are. So you've got to be careful about the things you ask the AI to look for. Similarly, like if you ask a driving license, a lot of people will put that on their CV, but a lot of people won't, from what we've done our testing. So we would suggest that's not a good question to ask. Ask that as a separate question in the application form. Like, this is a requirement for the role, do you have a driving license?
Makes sense.
So a bit of learning to do about what's realistically on the CV, because the AI will just do its best to find the answer. So you need to ask good questions, which is not so hard to, like, coach the recruiter on how to do.
Exactly. No, that's good advice there, actually. So I wasn't aware of all of that. Good. And what would you say at the minute then is some of the kind of recruitment challenges facing businesses? Just interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, definitely this sort of application overload. I think that's the challenge. And I think what that means is the candidate experience is quite poor. Because there's so many applicants, and I think you end up treating applicants a bit frivolously, like, oh God, so many applicants, So we know, I don't want to be rude to our customers using our ATS, but it's super easy to sort of select applicants that have been rejected and just send them an automated email. That's quite easy, but sometimes people don't have the time or don't get round to doing that. So I think candidate experience is definitely one of those challenges that if you design it right, you can automate lots of it at the start, because you're going to have to automate where there's lots of applicants, and near the end where you've got your short selection of people that, even if you don't hire them, you might come back and hire them another day, or they're clearly in your industry and relevant, so you want to look after them. So it's just building that good experience through. And I think that's changed a lot over the years. Expectations have changed, and candidates are now used to, like, great onboarding. I mean, we've all joined the business and it's like, your laptop's not ready and the business cards are coming next week.
I know.
But that doesn't happen so much now. I think even at the SME level, people have, they've systemized and got a lot more organized.
Exactly. No, good. And I suppose a lot of that is about the employer brand as well. If you're not going to get back to candidates and then you're constantly advertising, word of mouth, people are going to say that's not a great employer brand, because people are going to talk about their experience. So and with social media and things like that now as well, people can put stuff on social media, and it just it could damage a brand pretty quickly.
Well, if you're a job seeker, think of this. When was the last time you went on holiday without checking out TripAdvisor? If you went out for a week in Benidorm or something and you didn't check TripAdvisor, and you come back, if I'm seeing my friend down the pub and he said it was terrible, and I said, oh, what was the TripAdvisor? And he said, I didn't check. I would think my friend is a bit of an idiot.
Exactly.
So it's the same. No one should be joining an organization without looking into it and checking it out. And there's lots of information out there now. So if you haven't got that employer brand, even as an SME, there's a lot you can do that's not expensive and easy to do. So, and it makes a big difference. You just end, it sounds silly, but all of a sudden that challenge where you go, people say, you said my workshop, oh, good, we just don't get good applicants applying. I was like, well, good applicants find your role because they've all got the job alerts set up and stuff. And it'll pop up and say, there's a role in your area. Look, here's the job title. They'll click on it. But the discerning applicants, the really good ones, they're not looking for a job. They're looking for an opportunity. And if you're not presenting that, if you're the best kept secret, great. Well, no one's going to hear about it. You've got to get your story out front.
Definitely. We say that to our clients all the time, Adrian. They've got to articulate what their story is, their values, their purpose, and all of that. And I said, if you can do that, even as an SME business, your competitors might not be doing it. You're going to get found, and the candidate will want to come and work for you, not your competitor. But if you don't do it, your competitor's going to do it, and you're going to lose that talent.
And the key things there, I think, is it's hard for some organizations, is that authenticity. So to be really open about who you are, and that transparency. So like we publish our employee engagement survey results because they're very good results. We publish them on our career site, so a candidate coming to join us can see that. So if you can get more transparent, if you can and really lean in and don't be like corporate in the way you speak, but be authentic in every day, like you would speak to a candidate if you speak to them on the phone. Then I think that comes across. There's the superpower that maybe the smaller SME has, where the bigger corporates might be a little bit too corporate.
Exactly. Yeah, no, good advice. Some feedback we get from clients occasionally, Adrian, depending on the sector, is things like, shortage of candidates or shortage of kind of skilled workers. Is that something you've kind of seen in the marketplace recently?
Yeah, I mean, if you know your industry, and you might know for the years and years and years, there's been a struggle for this type of thing. I think there was a story on the BBC News about a real shortage of nurses now that's been going on, and lots of them left and relocated or since COVID. So there's that. So if there's a known skills shortage, then there's a challenge there. And I guess, I suppose, thinking about it in a fairness way, you should try and be training people and bringing people in, doing your bit to sort of add skills into that industry, rather than just trying to hire from the company down the road and giving them another problem. So so I think where there's a known skill shortage, do your bit is what I would say, or think innovatively. And I think more and more organizations are thinking innovative, like, is it remote, is it this, do we need, is there ways of doing this? So innovation will be key, but also you've just got to be better employer brand, recruit faster, and just be more efficient, understand the market. So it's all those simple things, but tough things in some respects.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've pushed back to some clients before as well, where they're saying they're struggling, but what's happened is there's too many people involved in the process, too many stages in the process, and saying candidates are not going to wait. We've seen some interviewers, 3 or 4 times doing an interview. It's like, that's just too long. And if you need to have that many people involved in the process, do it all at the same time, so that you're not asking the candidate to come back on a 3rd or a 4th visit. They're not going to do that. You're just not going to do that.
It was fascinating. We had a brief period post-COVID when it was all turned back on again. There was everyone was trying to hire, a huge surge in recruitment, and organizations got it up and down the land, because I think they probably got buy-in from hiring managers and the execs, and it was like, well, we just need to hire. So let's not do 4 interviews. Let's do this. Clear your calendar to make yourself available to me, and recruitment just become the priority. And it was, and you had to, because people were moving fast as well.
That's right.
So, but maybe some organizations have fallen back into old ways.
Absolutely.
But I think there is a really good challenge across all businesses, is just to have that open level of trust where people can say, why are we doing this, and challenge against that, but this is how we've always done it mindset.
Yeah, not good. We've seen as well recently, and I don't know if it's just a shift again, because a lot of the big tech companies are saying, wanting people back in the office 5 days a week. So we're seeing more and more the SME businesses being reluctant to offer hybrid working, and that's presenting a challenge, because candidates now see, some kind of hybrid as a bit of a given and not as a benefit. Is that something you've kind of encountered as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're working with hybrid. I personally love going. I'm working from home on a Friday. I love going into the office and that's seeing loads of people there. So I miss that, and I think maybe owners of the business and the execs feel that and go, oh, let's just cut this out and let's have everyone back in. Which I can understand the instinct. But I would say 2 things. I think we're a lot more fairer, and I suppose more, it's that work-life balance. Everyone's got a better work-life balance, even though the office may not have that, may lost a little bit of its oomph and its engagement, its dynamism and all that type of stuff. Okay, it's a little bit lower key now, fine, and you can work on that, but everyone's got so much more flexibility that they're saving money probably on things like childcare and stuff. So you've got to respect that. And if you do want to go 5 days a week, you've just got to understand that a large part, I don't know what the percentage is, but a large part of the market is not going to look at you as an employer. They're just not. I mean, once people go to that thing. If you know someone who's worked 4 days a week and then they looking at other roles that are 5 days a week, it's tough for them to go back to that mindset.
Of course it is, yeah. And that's, the clients that we've got that have got challenges just aren't offering any kind of flexibility or anything kind of hybrid. And we're trying to say that's the issue, is that your competitors are all doing it and you're not. So yeah, it's just trying to kind of influence them, I suppose, to kind of see the benefits of being a bit more open to that kind of way of working.
It's interesting. We're looking at some AI projects around data intelligence and stuff, just to be able to help our customers. We're not totally sure if we're committed to doing it yet, but we're interested in helping customers to find answers to things like how many of our customers are, because if you're doing hybrid working, it will be in the job adverts.
Yeah.
So it is possible to use AI within, like, right. So if you've got a law firm based in Glasgow, how many, of the number of law firm adverts in the Glasgow area, how many employers are actually talking about hybrid working, and is that trending up or down? And so we think there's some, AI will help with a lot of data intelligence and those types of things. So I think if the people can see the data and see it trending in a certain direction, they're like, okay, look, we really are shooting ourselves in the foot here a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. And just kind of final points before we kind of close, Adrian, what would you see as the kind of future plans for hireful, and how are you guys looking to kind of stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, I mean, we're building out, or we're committed. We've got, like I say, 2 development teams, so we're committed to the product and just keep improving the product. We're very focused. We're only focused in the UK, so everything we're doing is all about the UK, so that helps us. And I've mentioned it a gazillion times, but we know that the opportunity as it sits there in front of us now is AI.
Yeah.
And we've always had that. So, for example, I'll give you one quick example. We're rolling out chatbots. So if the chatbot technology is relatively easy to put in place, so we could give you a chatbot that would sit on your career site. Anyone looking to join your organization would be able to go in and ask the chatbot questions. And the chatbot would understand the question. And if you've given it some information, it would understand the answer. And it could provide a nice service to those job seekers that want to know more about your organization before they join. Now, that's all great. And the chatbot technology is super easy, super cheap to deploy. The challenge is helping the customer to get all their content together so the chatbot has the answers and can deliver a great service. And the same applies. It's not quite as difficult when you do like a HR chatbot for the employees, because you can give it the HR handbook and there's a lot of policies and stuff. So so that one's a bit easier, but the job seeker one a bit more challenging. So that's where we come in, as this is why we like the AI, because the tech's there, but then it needs the human to sort of walk the customer through it, explain what we need and how we do it and how you gather this information from your managers, and then show what the impact will be. And the chatbots then hopefully will be a fantastic service, just to be able to say, hey, look, what do you want to know about the organization? I've spoke to lots of our managers here. I can answer questions, and we're going to do that ourselves first, to put ourselves out there. But yeah, we see AI as a big opportunity, but we also feel it needs, customers are going to want someone to put their arm around them and help them, to show them they can do it and how to do it in an ethical and fair and risk-free way.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, good to hear about that. Good stuff. And is there anything else you want to cover on today's podcast, Adrian?
No, just to say thank you. I like doing podcasts. I love talking about it. There's always a lot of excitement going on in my little world, because I'm future planning and stuff. My colleagues are sat there on, like, in other work areas going, looking at challenges and stuff. But I'm always looking 6 to 18 months down the line. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff lined up, and I think hopefully get the economy going, and 2025 will be a bit more exciting than 2024.
Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. And if any of our viewers or listeners wanted to contact you, what's the best way to reach out, Adrian?
Yeah, well, I'm on LinkedIn, and if my email is just adrian@hireful.co.uk, and my job is like chief helper. So I say it at the end of all my webinars. If people want to just jump on a call and talk to me about a challenge they've got, that's my job. My job is to go out there and add value and spread the word about hireful. So I don't have a day rate, because I don't charge. I'm not a consultant, so it is just free advice. If anyone's got a challenge, I'm all up for a conversation. Brilliant,
fantastic. We'll make sure we put your details in the show notes as well, and hopefully some people will reach out. Great. Well, thanks again, Adrian. Really enjoyed chatting to you this morning. Great to hear about the journey that you've been on and hireful's been on, and the solutions that you can offer businesses. Great to hear. So thanks again.
And thank you, Alison, and good luck to the rest of the team for the rest of the year and 2025 and beyond.
Thanks, appreciate that. Thanks, Adrian. Cheers.